everybody, and welcome to Full Range Wrestling Recap. I am your host, Most Valuable Pat, and today we are going to talk about Raw results and SmackDown results for April 23rd and 24th of 2018. We're going to do our little recap of the show and tell you what was good and what was bad about the show, both shows. And I'm sorry about last week. My audio apparently was really messed up, and I kept on skipping back and forth when we did the audio, so I didn't do a wrestling recap last week. So I apologize for that. We did have a really cool Superstar shakeup, and I think that they did a pretty good job when it came to doing the Superstar shakeups. They really strengthened divisions that were weak when they did this little shakeup thing, and I would go more into that, but that's kind of old news. You guys kind of figured that out already, and you know what's going on when it comes to Superstar shakeups. So I'm not really going to talk about it a whole lot. We'll talk about a little bit of John Cena and Nikki Bella breaking up. I do want to talk about that. We'll talk about that after we get done with everything. But I want to talk about what happened on this week. Very tragic. Bruno Sammartino died this week. He was 82 years old, and everybody says he's probably one of the greatest superstars to ever be in the ring, which I completely agree. I didn't never have a chance to watch him, but he held the world championship for 7 years, which in today's world is just ridiculous. Holding it for a year is crazy, and he held it for 7. This is a big dude, man. I mean, if you see him in his prime, he's a pretty big guy. He was up there with Arnold and, Andre the Giant and all that kind of stuff. But he's a pretty big dude, and I felt bad that he died, and it stinks. But he lived to be a pretty old man for a wrestler, especially for a wrestler being 82 years old. That was pretty cool. They did a really good tribute to him on Raw. Really nice video tribute. They rang the bell 10 times, and that was really fun. Well, not fun. It was really nice to see that they did something like that for him. He deserves a lot of respect because he did a whole lot of things for everybody, and it just stinks, man. It stinks a lot. Just a lot. So a little bit of a silence for Bruno Sammartino was good on the show. Very happy to see that. Then they had Brock Lesnar come out, which I was actually pretty surprised to see Brock there. I didn't think he was going to be around today or on Monday, but he was there. And, Paul Heyman, it always seems like his promos are always the same. I mean, he's a good promo guy. He knows how to talk. He's a good voice for Brock, but it just seems to me that all of his promos they sound exactly the same. Brock Lesnar's the best. Brock Lesnar can beat anybody. Brock Lesnar is the god. Brock Lesnar is your heavyweight champion. It just always sounds the same. It never changes. It never changes. And it's very interesting to see what's going to happen at this Greatest Royal Rumble on Friday. We'll talk about that next week on next week's recap. But I'm interested to see what's going to go on this Greatest Royal Rumble, and if they even give the championship to Roman, which everybody's saying that that's the case. But, I mean, everybody's saying that Roman was going to win the title over at WrestleMania too, and that didn't happen. So, I don't know what's going to happen. But Reigns came down to the ring after Heyman was talking for hours and hours. And, he just came back. He was talking about how he's going to come back with the title and all that kind of stuff. Same old song and dance as it was last time before WrestleMania rolled around. And he's just saying the same old shit that he talked about before. It's really no different. It's just always the same old crap. So the next that was on the list was actually Elias, and he was fighting against Bobby Roode, which I like both of these superstars. I think it's a lot of fun to see these guys fight each other. I've never seen them fight before. Very good match. Elias ends up pulling it off at the end, though. After the match, it was Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt talking, and then they go up against the Ascension, who Ascension actually look pretty good. They're a good tag team, man, and I don't understand why WWE is using them the way that they're using them. I don't agree with the way that they're using them at all. Hopefully they actually become competitive because they're actually a pretty good tag team, and they showed it when they fought against Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy. Now, I saw that they were talking about how Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy are going up against the Bar at the Greatest Royal Rumble for the tag team championships. I don't understand what that means because the Bar is on SmackDown. So how would they, if they win, they're going to have 2 tag team championships on SmackDown? I mean, it just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. It's kind of stupid. So hopefully they did strengthen the tag team division over on Raw. So hopefully when Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy get the tag team championships, if they do, they can really get going and they can start fighting against other good tag teams. And like Revival and like Authors of Pain and like Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, they can start fighting as these kind of people, and we can see some. Hopefully, Ascension will be actually competitive because they actually should be competitive because they're a good tag team. So that could be 4 good tag teams and on Raw, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I don't really know. So then they had the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn show, which is kind of like Miz TV. It made absolutely no sense whatsoever. The funniest part was when they did come in and they were offering Angle a seat and they gave him a lawn chair. That was actually kind of funny. But other than that, it was just kind of a pain in the ass. And they were saying that Angle was saying that, oh, you guys are participating in the 50-man Battle Royal or Royal Rumble, and people that don't like you are going to be in there, like Daniel Bryan and like Shane McMahon and like Chris Jericho, and then he announced later on that it's going to be Sammy and Kevin versus Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman. Holy crap. That's a crazy tag team. But then we move on to Titus Worldwide versus Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. We get to see kind of a little preview of what Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler are like as a tag team. Great tag team. Fun to watch. Hopefully they're competitive. That would be great because, I mean, I want to see them be extraordinarily competitive people on Raw. So they beat the crap out of Titus Worldwide because that's just kind of the way that it is. So, and then backstage, Chad Gable comes on and he says, I'm happy to be on Raw. I'm happy to be teaming up with Jason Jordan again, blah, blah, blah. And Kurt Angle's like, no, we're not going to be doing that. Jinder Mahal comes in Chad Gable's face, and they have a match. And, man, Chad Gable's a pretty decent superstar in singles. He's pretty good, man. He's a lot of fun to watch. And he ended up beating Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal's been having some bad luck when it comes to Raw. And, of course, again, they talk about Backlash. They talk about what's going on with the Greatest Royal Rumble stuff. They talk about all this crap, and they repeat themselves like 5 or 6 times when it comes to doing this thing. It's just kind of weird. So then they had the match between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley, and it was just kind of a beatdown of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. I mean, Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley are pretty good tag team. They were beating up on Bobby Lashley for a little bit, but it wasn't really a big deal. The match was just kind of like, eh. And then right after that, I thought that was a main event, and it wasn't. But then they had Baron Corbin go up against Adam Rose. I'm sorry, No Way Jose. It's exactly who this guy is. He's Adam Rose, but not It's kind of stupid. I don't like that at all. And then Baron Corbin comes out and says, oh, I'm not fighting against a guy like that, and blah blah blah. And then No Way Jose starts coming back to the back, and of course Baron Corbin jumps him. I mean, that was completely obvious. Like, yeah, that wasn't actually going to happen. But then they had the Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas are trying to find their partners again. They went up to Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, and they went and asked them to join like the club and the Shield and all that kind of stuff, and they both said no. So they ended up having a match between those two, Finn Balor and Seth Rollins versus Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. And I don't know what they're going to do with them now. They're probably going to put it back on the shelf just like they had them before. And that's really kind of annoying because Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas are not bad wrestlers. But I still think about I remember when CM Punk did his interview with Cole Cabana on his show whenever he left. I remember him talking about Triple H. He said that Triple H was going to help Curtis Axel with his career. He never did. And so are they going to join up with Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt? Because that'd be cool, because Bo Dallas and Bray Wyatt are brothers, so I wouldn't mind seeing them fight together. But I don't know. Well, it's going to be interesting. Not really sure about that. But then they had a tag team, a 10-woman tag team match, and it was Riot Squad, Mickie James, and Alexa Bliss versus Bayley, Sasha, Natty, Ember Moon, and Nia Jax. So if I remember correctly, about 2 weeks ago, Natty was a heel. Do I remember that right, or is that am I just kind of missing something here? Because I don't really know what they're doing. Whenever they change people from faces to heels in the women's division, they don't actually do anything. They just, one day they're good, and then one day they're bad. It just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And it's very strange. Because one day Natty was good, and then she was bad. And then one day Natty was bad, and now she's good again. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. It's the same thing with Mickie James. Mickie James was all of a sudden, hated Alexa Bliss. And then all of a sudden the next day she's a heel. It just doesn't make any sense. It's kind of stupid. Not a fan of that. Change them around, have them do something bad in order to make them bad. You know what I'm saying? It's stupid. So overall, Raw was decent. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. I'm looking forward to this Greatest Royal Rumble. I'm kind of curious to see what they do with that. And it's on Friday at noon, which is kind of strange, but it should be fun to watch. And we'll just have to see what happens. I don't really know, but we're going to move on to SmackDown Live, and SmackDown Live started off with Miz TV. Everybody thought that it was going to be him, Miz, and Daniel Bryan, and instead of Daniel Bryan coming out, Big Cass came out, which I love Big Cass, man. I'm glad that he's actually making a name for himself, and he actually had a pretty good promo. He did a pretty good promo. He must have been practicing whenever he was gone, because he did a pretty good promo. Him and Carmella are dating, so I'm sure they feed off each other. But it was good to see Big Cass actually doing something without Enzo standing there. And he's still a heel, but everybody still likes him. I want to see him fight, though. And then they had the icon. Oh my God, this was freaking a waste of like 10 minutes. Peyton Royce and Billy Kay were in the ring, just like complimenting each other. Oh my God, you look so good. Oh my God, you're so hot. Oh my God, you're so sexy. It was so stupid. I'm telling you, dude, it's Michelle McCool and Layla all over again. It's the biggest joke I have ever seen in my life. Oh my God, I do not like these two girls at all because they never shut up. I mean, they're good looking, Peyton Royce is good looking. Billie Kay's not. But Peyton Royce is hot. But Billie Kay's not. She's like Nikki Bella. She looks just like Nikki Bella. Let's get long black hair and dress in all black. That's Nikki Bella. It's freaking stupid. So, but they're copying off of two people that were there like 10 years ago. It's very, very dumb. And they ended up fighting against Becky Lynch and Asuka, and they ended up beating Becky Lynch and Asuka, which is dumb. But what you gonna do? I'm not even gonna go into this anymore because they're both freaking dumb. Then they had after that they had Eric Rowan go up against Jimmy Uso, and Naomi came out and she interrupted the match, and Jimmy and Uso ended up beating Eric Rowan, which is actually kind of funny. So I'm hoping now that at the Greatest Royal Rumble when they fight each other that they're actually gonna have a match. And they're not going to have Naomi come out and screw over the Bludgeon Brothers out of their tag team championships. Because I'm so sick and tired of seeing the Usos tag team champions. I don't want to see that again. Please don't make them tag team champions again. Because that's absolutely ridiculous. Don't want to see it. And then came, I think, the second worst promo skit of the night. It was the Women's Championship signing when it was Carmella out in the ring. And she talked for like 10 minutes. She had like a freaking highlight reel of how she won the Money in the Bank, and then she cashed it in, and then they ran it again. And then she was just like, and then, Charlotte comes down. Carmella starts running around the ring like an idiot, saying, "I'm the champion." It was like the spoiled little brat finally gets her way, and she's like, strutting her stuff and talking all this crap. It was very dumb. It was very, very dumb. She had decent promo, but man, it was very stupid. I'm not gonna go more into that because that ruined the entire freaking show for me anyway. Then they had Shelton Benjamin versus Jeff Hardy was supposed to be coming up, and they ended up being Randy Orton coming out and taking on Shelton Benjamin. Which Shelton Benjamin is going to be a really, really good, a very, very good singles competitor. He always was, and I'm excited to see him hopefully contend for the United States Championship. That'd be kind of fun, but it's going to be cool to see these guys actually like go at it. And it was a good match, and it ended up having some dude came out of the audience and started beating up on Randy Orton. It turned out to be Singh, one of the Singh brothers. I don't know his name, but it turns out to be one of the Singh brothers. And Orton RKO's Singh brother, and then Benjamin hits him with his finisher, and then Shelton Benjamin actually wins the match, which is fine. But then it was AJ Styles and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus Shinsuke and Rusev. So Shinsuke is being kind of a little bitch, and I mean he's a heel, he's good at it because he's beating him up, which is fine, but he keeps on doing these nut shots, which is like, okay, come on, one nut shot or two nut shots in a row is fine, but you're going to have to stop with the nut shot stuff. And you're going to have to actually fight them again. They're going to have good matches. A good match at Greatest Royal Rumble, but man, come on. And it turns out that Shinsuke and Rusev Day actually won. Rusev is more popular than freaking half the people in there. He's almost just as popular. He's more popular than Gallows and Anderson. He's more popular than Aiden English. He's probably not more popular than Shinsuke and AJ, but I mean he's close. Rusev is the man, and they're burying him. What are they doing to Rusev, man? I mean, he had such promise from back in the day, and now they just screw him up. Now they're gonna bury him at the freaking Greatest Royal Rumble when he fights against Undertaker. It's so stupid, man. I don't like it at all. How they deal with that stuff. I don't like it. It's so stupid. And they ruined these people at this show. On this show. They ruined these people. They ruined great superstars. And it's really, really annoying what they do to these guys. And I'm hoping that they kind of make it so when it especially happens on Raw. It's not as much as SmackDown, but it mostly happens on Raw. I hope that they don't take the people that they took from SmackDown and they over to Raw and screw them up. Because they have good talent on Raw now and good talent on SmackDown. So I hope they don't mess them up. But we'll just have to wait and see. Because from what I've seen from now, Jinder Mahal is getting messed up and pretty much because he's losing all a bunch of time. But he's getting time. So, I mean, I guess it's okay. But, well, I don't know, man. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But that's pretty much it for SmackDown. It wasn't a very good show. It was long and drawn out. 2 long drawn out promos that was stupid. And they were all both the girls, which was really, really dumb. So they really messed it up for me anyway. It was a bad show just because of that. And so we're going to move on to rumors of the day. And we got a few good ones here. They're saying, the Observer's saying that it would seem that Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt's going to win the tag team championships because the bar on SmackDown. But we'll have to see. I don't know what they're going to do. I'm a little bit confused on what's going on with this whole pay-per-view thing. Because they're talking about how it's going to be like a joint pay-per-view. So, if it's going to be a joint pay-per-view, then are they going to have like SmackDown stars go up against Raw stars? Because they already have, at this Greatest Royal Rumble thing, they already have them mixing together. They have the Bar going up against Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, and then they have Samoa Joe in the Intercontinental Championship match. So it's a ladder match. So it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, what are they gonna do with that? Because I heard that that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna put in SmackDown stars and Raw stars on one pay-per-view. How are they gonna do that? I don't really get it. And they said they won't go into effect for a couple more weeks. And also, Post Wrestling said that Alexa Bliss had minor cosmetic surgery after WrestleMania. Gee, I wonder what she did. And let's see. Other rumors that are running around is there's going to be a whole bunch of surprise entrants at this Greatest Royal Rumble. It's already been said that Great Khali and Rey Mysterio are going to be 2 of them. So we can expect those people to be in there. That's why I want to watch it, because it sounds like it's going to be actually pretty fun. And also, it's noted that tickets were sold out for this show, but there was a lot of comps given. So who knows how much money they actually gave. Oh yeah, get this. So they're saying that Brock Lesnar's getting paid $500K per match he does. And then that he can just pay him however he wants. I saw that number. I was like, you got to be freaking kidding me. That's pretty amazing. And also that there was a rumor running around that Sasha Banks had her push halted because her attitude was bad. And Mike Johnson reported that that wasn't the case. But who knows? Backstage sources says that WWE is hoping that Undertaker's going to wrestle 4 or 5 times this year, which would be kind of cool. And they also said that there might be a women's tag team championship belts, which could be debuted by SummerSlam. So who knows about that? That'd be kind of cool too. But they don't have enough women to do that, so I don't think that would be a good idea right now. And they also don't know who's going to win the World Championship. If Lesnar's going to take it from Roman or what. So they're not really sure yet. And that's pretty much all the rumors that are rolling around. I do want to talk about one thing, and that is Cena and Nikki Bella breaking up. So this happened last week. I talked about it in my recap from last week, but I couldn't because of my stupid thing. But the way that they were talking, I don't understand if it was like, I don't know if it's actually happened for real, or it's like something with Total Divas or something like that, or it's like all show. Because they had no indication that they were going to break up. But they do all this public crap on TV. He proposes to her at WrestleMania in front of a whole bunch of big audience and stuff like that. It sounds like just to me that it might be like a play just to get more attention on themselves. I don't know. It's just it seems kind of weird. Um, I like John Cena and Nikki Bella, but I know John Cena's really about taking care of himself before anybody else. But that's what he should do. He was, I don't know. I don't really know the guy personally, so I can't really say. But um, I would probably say that this is probably a legit thing. I don't know, but it just seems kind of weird that it would just all of a sudden happen right before they're gonna get married. Maybe they just couldn't work on some things. Maybe they just couldn't deal with it. I don't know, but I feel kind of bad for them if that actually happened. So, it kind of stinks. But I just want to put my 2 cents in on that. I don't really know if this is something that's actually for a show or it's something that's actually for just, you know, it actually happened. I don't. Nobody knows. It's just strange. So, but that's gonna do it for us for our wrestling recap for this week. So I'd like to say thank you very much for everybody for watching, and please leave a comment down in the comment section. What you think is gonna happen in the Greatest Royal Rumble? What did you think of the Superstar Shakeup? And also, do you think Lesnar's going to lose the title to Roman Reigns? Hopefully he does. I don't like Roman Reigns any more than you guys do, but I want to see that title be relevant again. I want him to see the fight against like Bobby Lashley and other people like that on Raw, instead of just having Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar 5. So, but thank you very much for watching, guys. Please don't forget to like, share, and comment on this video. And we will see you all next week on our Full Range Wrestling recap. Thank you very much again. And please don't forget to always enjoy. All right. Bye, guys.